Malaysia has set up its journey towards the concept of sustainable development in the 1970s when the new economic policy was initiated to alleviate poverty and to restructure the inequality in our society. National sustainability has emphasized a range of causes such as renewable development, access to education and healthcare, sustainable economic growth, and environmental conservation mainstreaming. In 2009, our country developed the new economic model to follow a sustainable growth on the basis of three targets of a high level of wealth, inclusiveness, and sustainability. These are parallel to the three elements of the 2030 Plan for Sustainable Development, which include economic, social, and environmental aspects. The new economic model will prepare the groundwork for Malaysia's growth plan by 2020.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Idina Izati binti Zamri. First and foremost, one of the efforts of Sime Darby to pursue the sustainable development goals is by reducing the carbon emission during the production. In line with the sustainable development goals, which is climate resilience, the decision taken by Sime Darby to reduce the carbon emissions helps in order to combat the climate change. Climate change is where the weather of the entire Earth extremely change for a longer period of time. To be exact, it is an increase and a rise in global temperatures for over a century, speeding up in the last few years, which it can contribute and lead to the global warming. Such disastrous effects and disadvantages of the climate due to global warming, such as intense drought, storms, heat waves, and rising sea level become more frequent and excessive. As we know, Sime Darby is a plantation global trading that involves in the industrial base. Therefore, it is responsible in choosing a wise way in order to prevent the climate change from happening. This is because industry is considered as the villain or a threat to the nature, in which they can be classified as the main cause of the climate change. Thus, considering that situation, Sime Darby has decided to reduce the carbon emissions due to prevent and refuse from being the cause of the climate. Therefore, in order to prevent the climate change, Sime Darby has handled their carbon and greenhouse emissions by monitoring and measuring the emissions to give the accurate performance data and to prevent the emissions to the maximum. Since 2009, Sime Darby has prepared an annual carbon footprint inventory and report in which they gathered and collected the carbon emission data to establish the baseline and to track the carbon emissions intensity reduction progress. They also calculate and collect the emissions of palm oil and rubber operations each year by utilizing the RSPO Palm GHG calculator version 3 and the GHG protocol accounting standard. Furthermore, Sime Darby also collected and calculated the operational emissions data in according to the GHG protocol account standard. So, Sime Darby has continuously making an effort to improve the energy efficiency of their operations in promoting environmentally friendly to reinforce the impact their works to the nature. By 2030, Sime Darby has set a target in reducing the emission by 40% of their operations, which it is parallel with the sustainable development goals for the climate resilience. So that's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Cik Shazlin binti Cik Muhammad Zahid from AM1105C. Today I will explain about the effort of Darby to ensure the sustainable development goals to be achieved. This can be achieved by making conservation of biodiversity and managing land. In this way, the Darby have created the solution to have a good management in maintain the land and forest is a good way. Besides, there are many ways and strategies to make conservation of biodiversity to prevent extinction of flora and fauna. The flora and fauna that been threatened every year such as Borneo orangutan, pigment elephant, Sumatran rhino and many more. The climate change and destruction of habitat threaten these species. Deforestation is normal for being as the issue in making development within a country. Then, the Darby have made many initiatives to maintain the sustainable development in order to ensure the objective in the 17 Sustainable Development Goals by cooperate with the Darby Foundation. This foundation support world-class scientific research by developing highly local scientists, researchers, and custodians. In addition, this foundation also sponsor the course of program that encourage and empower communities by adopting a green practices. This making the sustainability standard of life. For example, Darby Plantation have managed over than 20 projects and making the investment up to RM153 million for the conservation and protection of biodiversity purposes. So, the existing of the projects and the programs give a lot of the solution to the problem of the issue, which is the deforestation and the threatened species of flora and fauna. Then, the Darby have introduced an environmental management practices that give us safe practices while running the operation of the business. Last but not least, the Darby also carried out on ways of managing the land that follows with the goals of sustainable development. And that's all from me, and I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Arina binti Marzuki, and I'm going to present the last effort initiated by Darby in order to strive for sustainable development. So, the last effort initiated by Darby in order to achieve sustainable development is responsible agriculture practice. So, the first method by Darby towards responsible agriculture practice is sustainability certification. As a proof for practicing responsible agriculture practice, Darby strive in achieving certification that give their customers confidence that the oil they use is not associated with any risk. They are committed to ensuring that by adopting sustainability standards, all of their activities meet good agricultural and best management practices. Furthermore, through water management, Darby prove their responsible agriculture practice through management of water, matching their organizational needs with the optimizations of available water supplies. The goal of their water management practices is to optimize water efficiency through different steps aimed at balancing their operational requirements with water resource conservation. So the next is proper waste management. For information, palm oil meal effluent (POME) is the main production of organic waste from palm oil production. It is explicitly illegal to discharge untreated effluent into water sources and it can cause substantial environmental concerns and adversely affect life underwater. With this in mind, they maintain robust management systems to ensure all mills and refinery operations are equipped with palm oil mill effluent treatment systems POMETS and industrial effluent treatment systems IETS. Other than that, Sime Darby have also invested in training their personnel to handle the treatment systems and effluent control. Other than effluent management, they also concern regarding composting. Compost can be created by a combination of POME, POM and empty fruit punch EFP, as well as other byproducts, namely decanter cake and boiler ash, the two largest constituents of mill waste. Composts are used as soil conditioner in estates to improve soil in estates. On the other hand, Sime Darby also made an effort in reducing plastic waste. Thus, in 2017, Sime Darby carried out an inventory of single-use plastic waste at its STP Sime Darby Plantation Head Office, Ara Damansara, to assess its role in preventing this crisis. It has recorded 325,830,000 pieces of single-use plastic equivalent to 4,522.12 kilograms in a year. Since then, the No Single-Use Plastic campaign has been introduced with the goal of eliminating plastic waste and consuming single-use plastics.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Atira Ayuni binti Zulkifli from class AM1105C. Okay, I will explain the last point, the effort that has been taken by Sime Darby to achieve the sustainable development. It is supply chain. Okay, Sime Darby is committed to a traceable and sustainable supply chain and plantation. The first point is they provide transparency in their supply chain and progress towards the implementation of no deforestation, pits and exploitation open palm traceability dashboard. Open Palm is Sime Darby Plantation online dashboard that provides important information on the effectiveness of its supply chain. Open Palm also gives their customer access to important data on the origin of all palm oil products throughout the Sime Darby Plantation, both from its oil palm plant to its plantation, as well as third-party plantation. It is also to full access to the tracking dashboard will only be provided to their key customer to protect the confidential nature of the commercial information content, which may include data on products and purchase pattern. Palm oil is the commodity in the world, and global demand is projected to increase as the world population grows. Okay, the next point is traceability is all palm tracking helps producers understand the supply chain, improve reporting, implement effective action plans to improve overall sustainability. Okay, this point explain about that they want to achieve this across the industry. There is need for all players to share this vision, collaborate and work together to implement a system that provides the necessary rules. With more than 600 factories, a dozen factories and thousands of smallholders, the oil palm supply chain is complex, and they have embarked on a journey to address the challenges of this complex and achieve full traceability. they also believe that traceability is the next boundary in stopping the supply of deforestation. Tracking back to its sources will make it possible to identify where the problem exists. Because they want to ensure accurate information is available, palm oil producer and trader needs to create a trace network that can trace our palm oil from sources to supply. That's all from me. Thank you.
So we can conclude that Darby was very enthusiastic to ensure that by enforcing environmental criteria, all of their operations pursue great agriculture and a good management operation. And Darby Plantation continues to be the most effective producer of certified organic palm oil and serve as a core factor in the growth of sustainable approaches in the palm oil industry. In relation to the Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil, Darby is the coordinating member, and they aim to step forward the productivity, acquisition and make do of sustainable palm oil products. Their dedication towards sustainable development rings out together with the group's brand agreement of delivering sustainable futures. They have confidence that there is no way out of sustainable growth. Darby was really cherished the journey in order to obtain sustainability, as it is not either something that they can make around by their own, and they in all seriousness engage with all of their shareholders that one may is them to perform their objective for sustainable development.